How you doing, everyone? So today I wanted to go over how to get your calves larger. Unless you're genetically born with them, it can be, as many people know, a very stubborn muscle group to grow. So I kind of wanted to touch basis on a couple different strategies as far as helping your calves grow. So first off, know that this muscle group is going to take some time. If you're born with chicken legs, it is going to take some time to develop them. So, the first thing that I would do is understand you got to be really patient. You got to train really, really hard and stay consistent. Your nutrition is a key part of everything as well. So keep that in mind as you're trying to help them promote that growth. So first off, let's touch basis on the workout side of things. I grew up with very, very skinny legs in general. I was insecure about it. I was an athlete, but I always wanted to get my legs bigger. I didn't know much about fitness until after about the age of 18, 19, 20. So I was a late bloomer. But as far as calves went, genetically I had really long muscle throughout my calf. It appears now where my muscle starts literally at the bottom of my ankle, and comes all the way through up. So with the soleus and my gastrocnemius, and then also make sure to work that tibialis, which is that front muscle, the shin muscle. The structure of your actual calf, the length of your calf is purely genetic. So you'll see a lot of guys that have really high calves, ball type of calves up top, and then it just cuts off and it just looks like bone. You don't have a lot underneath that. There's some guys that have really long calves. That's just the structure, much like abs. It's a genetic thing. So keep that in mind, during your training. If you have really high calves, you're not going to have long calves like me, vice versa. Training wise, you're on walking every day. So you're on your calves and they're working constantly while you're walking or running. So you got to keep in mind that you got to train these things. It's accustomed to your body weight. So you got to train these things a lot heavier than what they're accustomed to promote growth. A few different techniques that I use specifically are, a lot of drop sets. I do high volume. I go as high weight as possible with keeping my technique and full range of motion in place, and a lot of drop sets. Drop sets are amazing because you can start heavy load and start dropping them off as your muscle starts fatiguing, and then just bringing them to another level. I typically train calves 2-3 times a week, with one of the workouts being really intense, 45 minutes, 50 minutes, 60 minutes calves, hitting every single angle and part of my calf. And just really isolating and focusing on trying to help that muscle, grow. A lot of people, especially the guys that don't have great calves, the girls that don't have great calves, they hate training calves. Well, you got to learn to love training calves. You expect for them to grow. So, train your calves much like you do your arms. Most every single guy will go into a gym and they love training arms. You got to get that same mindset for calves. You got to go in, hit them hard for 45 minutes from a seated calf to a standing calf to leg press calf press machines. There's all sorts of variety and angles and everything that you can hit them at. But at the end of the day, go in and just destroy them. Like I said before, high volume. Drop sets are really good. You can do some add sets too. You start lighter and then add weight as you go. Kind of pyramid type of deal. Super sets, giant sets, just stuff to really just fatigue them and take them over the edge. I mean, you had a good calf routine when you wake up the next day then the following day, the following day, the following day, and you're still sore. You know, that step of like, oh man, I'm dying. So that was a killer workout. And then, you know, your two lighter workouts during the week, you know, just go a moderate weight, still high rep, but kind of, you know, switch your angles up, or, you know, just vary it up quite a bit. Nutrition wise, you have to look at nutrition like you do, you know, if you're trying to bulk or if you're trying to cut. If I'm sitting eating chicken and broccoli all day, you know, I'm going to be ripped to the bone, but, you know, trying to promote a lot of muscle growth during that time, if my calories aren't where they need to be and I'm expending too much, like I can't expect to grow. So when you go through periods of time, and a lot of people go through off season, some people don't, but what I learned as being an ectomorph is me trying to stay lean year round was really easy. I could stay lean. Adding weight and muscle was difficult for me. I had to go into my nutrition and really focus on building, you know, building muscle all over and adding so many calories. I was up to 5,000-6,000 calories a day when I was really trying to bulk and I was competing and I was doing all that. And I do that for 6 to 9 months at a time and then come down. I wasn't shredded ripped during those periods of time, but I was getting stronger. I was building, you know, my arms getting bigger, calves and legs and chest. And then when I brought it down and leaned back down, I was a bigger version and a leaner version than I was before. So you know, you gotta look at that as far as your nutrition for growing, specifically your calves in general. I remember reading you know, parts of Arnold's book and hearing quotes from him about, you know, how he didn't have any calves and his calves were one of his biggest weaknesses, and he just focused and honed in on building his calves to a place that you know, balanced out the rest of his body. And that's the key. You know, you don't want to be a Lamborghini up top running on hubcaps down low. You know, it just doesn't make sense. You got to have balance, you know, from you know, how big your calves are comparative to your arms, and making sure that, you know, aesthetically and balanced wise, you don't want to be the Johnny Bravo. You know, I know all the girls and dudes and whatnot like bigger chests and bigger arms, you know, but the overall aesthetic and balance from head to toe, you know, that's the body that I think is going to gain the most respect, and also you know, what most guys typically are going for. You know, and I know a lot of guys, including myself at one point, you know, I mean, you get insecure about having little legs, you know, regardless of how big your arms are. So really, you know, hone in and focus on getting focus on building your calves up, and you're going to eventually get them. Now, it doesn't happen overnight. Your arms, your chest, all that stuff grows a lot quicker than your calves. This may be a 1 year, 2, 3, 4, 5 year period of time to help build them a couple inches. I mean, it takes a long time, but I'm living proof that it can happen. I mean, I had 12, 13 inch calves at age 16, 17, 18, and I've measured over 19, you know, at the biggest. So it's doable. It took a lot of years and thousands and millions of reps, it feels like, but you know, it paid off, and it was I think one of the biggest things when I won the 2011 WBFF championship. You know, I was really balanced. You know, there was guys I thought that they were leaner, that were probably a bit bigger, but balance-wise from head to toe, my calves, I think, is what set me apart from a balance and aesthetic standpoint. To overall symmetry from head to toe and balance front to back, head to toe. Regardless if it's bodybuilding or muscle model or fitness model or physique or whatever it is, you know, having a good set of wheels and calves is crucial. So, you know, go for it. If you have any other questions, just reach out to me. Train hard eat right, live the lifestyle, you'll reach your goals. Thanks, guys.